Hello and welcome to a special edition of the Tech Talk Download Series. I'm Trish McCall alongside Flavia Villanustre, and we are here to share a teaser on what you can expect to see at the upcoming 9th Annual HPCC Systems Community Summit. So Flavio, first things first, let's talk about logistics. It's free and it's virtual again this year, and you kick things off for us bright and early at 9 a.m. Eastern on October 10th.
That is correct. And hello, everyone. I hope you are going to be as excited as we are to get to this event. It is still a month or so away, but look, a month comes through very, very quickly. We'll have a full day packed with activities, plenty of presentations, some keynotes that are really worth it, and certainly breakout sessions with plenty of additional content. Really, I think really exciting content. Many of the things are completely new. So it's a great opportunity to get everyone back with the community. And of course, we have poster presentations. We have plenty of other discussions around community activities. So stay tuned.
Yes, let's talk about the agenda and the content now that you brought that up. As we all know, this event is dedicated to showcase our community of users from industry to academia and our own technology experts. And as we continue our journey to the cloud, you can expect a number of our sessions will have that focus. So Flavio, as our virtual MC for the event, without giving too much away, what can you tell us about our opening keynotes?
Well, we have 3 excellent opening keynotes. And I can give you a teaser, but I don't want to really uncover all of the content that is coming there. We have data seers, and yes, this is not the first time to have data seers there, but now we are seeing a completely different perspective, a company that is highly successful, and it's basing all of its technology on HPCC systems. So that one is something that you can't miss. It's an unmissable one. The other 2 keynotes are as good as that one. One has one of our loved community members and professors in India, and maybe this is giving it away, and where she will be talking about both a project that they've been running with one of the students, but also, as important or more important, their new HPC Systems Center of Excellence in the same school. This is a highly successful Center of Excellence that's built over the past few years, thanks to the efforts that this professor is putting into. Again, you need to watch it to know who I'm talking about, even though everyone probably knows now by now. The third one is another one of our loved community members, Gavin Hardy, who is going to be talking about the future of HPCC with all of the content, the highly technical content around, as you know, all of the cloud initiatives, cloud-related initiatives, the new the advances on the CL compiler and all of the other components in HPCC, and plenty more. Again, I don't want to, it's just a little teaser. I don't want to uncover everything that is covered there, but it's plenty of information in those keynotes, and I think they are going to be also fun. So come and watch them.
That sounds like a terrific way to kick the day off. And I know with so many new improvements and platform enhancements, the breakout sessions that follow will be jam-packed with informative and helpful topics for our user community. In fact, we have so many topics to cover in the day, we had to break them down across 5 different tracks, right, Flavio? Yeah,
5 tracks. And I made a mistake of going through the agenda management piece of the site, the portal for the event, and trying to select the things that interested me. And I said I made a mistake because then I selected several things that overlap, so I can only attend one of them. Fortunately, I can attend them later on because they will be pre-recorded, so we can still watch them later on. If you have one of these things where you have 2, you cannot miss sessions at the same exact time, and there are several of those. I look at some of them that I'm really looking forward to attend. There is one about one on Roxy and Roxy troubleshooting and Roxy performance analysis, which is quite interesting. There are several, at least 3 or 4 on cloud containers, deployment on containers. There are some around new tooling including the ECL notebooks as well, which is another interesting one. There is one around Power BI and Tombolo that I can't miss, and I probably mentioned several that are overlapping already.
Yes.
So you get the idea. You get the challenge, the dilemma I have now that day. Of course, I will attend one of them in each one of the sessions, and then I will schedule to go back and watch the recordings later on.
Right. And let's just give a teaser just so our attendees will know, as mentioned earlier, cloud is top of mind for all of us these days. So we actually have 2 tracks to help our users with this journey. First is cloud deployment, which Flavio may have hinted. You'll want to join these sessions to learn all about building and maintaining an optimal cloud native HPCC system platform. So expect to hear from our experts on the best way to do this. Next, as Flavio teased about, is our cloud delivery track. Here's some helpful tips on how you can deliver your data using Roxy and what every developer should know when using HPC Systems Cloud Native. And Flavio, remember, our machine learning track returns with our in-house expert, Roger Dev, sharing an update on the latest developments and our machine learning bundles and our analytics library. And you'll also hear from 2 of our summer interns discussing some very interesting use cases in medical diagnosis and anomaly detection, as well as a different spin on easily interacting with HPCC systems using an all-new PyHPCC package. Our 4th track is also new this year, Flavio, with 3 enlightening topics covering ECL source code with Git, ECL notebooks, which you mentioned, and something I've never heard before until now, the ECLS scanner tool. So if you are intrigued, come check out that new Developers Corner track. And finally, sticking with our theme to make a difference and change the game, our final track, Beyond HPCC Systems, speaks to the innovation of what you can do with this platform. And like Flavio said, if topics like Power BI, MongoDB, Tombolo, and NLP get you excited, you don't want to miss this track. So Flavio, there's so many to choose. Thank goodness we have short breaks in between to step away and refresh, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, there are plenty. Look, there are plenty of options for almost everyone. I can't think of anyone that would say, "Oh no, I don't have something that I'm really interested in." I'm telling you, I just can't decide which ones I will attend there live and which ones I will need to attend later on deferred.
Yeah, well, midway through, we will pause and let attendees take a break, visit the expo hall, and definitely browse through our poster presentations. Flavio, did you know we broke another record on the number of posters we have this year in our competition? We had an impressive 18 last year, but this year we have 26 posters from our academic community all over the globe, United States, Europe, India, and Brazil. And let me tell you, they are mind-blowing. Some of the use cases and research that these students are presenting are just remarkable. So we encourage everyone to take some time to check these out, and we need your help. This is our 7th annual poster competition, so we need all attendees to vote for their favorite poster for the Community Choice Award. And you can do that from September 19th through September 30th, right in the event platform, as long as you are registered. Right, Flavio?
Yeah, absolutely. Don't forget to vote. Those posters, you can see in those posters how much excitement went into building them. All of the knowledge of each one of these students that participated in the poster competition, and all of the things that they learned throughout it. In some cases, I find an analogy between the journey that they go through during their internship and the one that any new user of the HPC Systems platform goes through as they are learning how to use the platform. So there are things to be learned from those posters as well. If you are just trying to get into the HPC Systems community and trying to understand how the technology works, plenty of those posters to do that. If you want to know what the new user experience is because you're an experienced user and you want to do something that gathers those new users, there is also plenty of things to look at that. And last but not least, if you have an interest in a niche area that some of those posters will cover, because again, 26 posters, you know how many things you will have there covered. I'm sure you will have interest to go there and look at it. And again, since you are already looking at the posters, why not vote? So don't miss that opportunity. Make yourself be heard and select the best poster for that person to get the award.
Yeah, that part's always my favorite part of the summit. And you won't have to wait long to hear who wins. After the midday break on October 10th, be sure to come back for our closing plenary. You will want to hear a very fun and engaging dialogue on how we are partnering with Code Day to attract students and hire talent. And then the anticipated wait is over. Lorraine Chapman and I will announce the winners of our Community Recognition Awards and the winners of the poster competition before you, Flavio, close out the day. But wait, there's more, isn't there, Flavio? We have workshops.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's not the closing of the event. That's just the closing the first day, right?
Absolutely. These workshops are amazing. And you know what? I think it's best explained by the instructors themselves on what the attendees might learn. So Flavio, why don't we bring on our sensational training team, Bob Foreman and Hugo Watanuki, the dynamic ECL duo, and have them tell us all about the workshops.
Thanks, Trish. Thanks, Flavio. Great introduction. We've got, like I said, an exciting community coming up in a few weeks. And this is Community Day number 9, I believe. And myself and I've always been a part of presenting workshops. And sometimes we used to do it on the day of Community Day because we're packed with so much material, we're going to be providing a workshop on the 3 days following our Community Day, October 11th, 12th, and 13th. So I really want to just come on and encourage all of you to join this workshop. I think you're going to be very pleased, very excited, and I hope that you're going to learn as much as I did, because now I've been working with ECL for over 11 years now, and during this year when we were planning our workshops, there was a project that Hugo and I were both working on. And as we were getting more and more into the project, we started to see that this is a project that deserves to be shared with the community. And what better way to share it than with a workshop? Some of you may be aware that we wanted to, in the open source community, provide other sources of material for HPCC systems. And some of you may be aware that on Amazon, we have a book called The Definitive HPCC Systems Volume 1, which was all behind the scenes of setting up an HPCC cluster. Well, I'm happy to announce that there is a new book that was just released, I think as of last week. It's The Definitive HPCC Systems Volume 2. And from this book, Hugo and I both got an idea. We said, let's provide a workshop. Let's talk about the contents of this book, because there's just too much material that we need to share. We just need to share this with the community. We need to show them some of the real good bits of the book. And by no means, because this book is so comprehensive, are we showing everything. As a matter of fact, we got to a point where we got to our 3rd day of the workshop, which is the ECL cookbook, and we said, there's just too much to show. It's not a meal, it's a feast of ECL. And so the chefs just ran out of kitchen space. And so day number 1 of the workshop, we're going to be going back to the basics of ECL, why ECL was invented in the first place around 20 years ago, where we're going to be talking about the fundamentals of data transformation using ETL, the extract, transform, and load process. On day number 2, we switch gears into the delivery process, data delivery, which is actually part of the load process. And so we're going to be focusing on Roxy and developing queries for Roxy, developing indexes for Roxy, and then some tips that even myself, I didn't realize. Again, 11 years, you think you know everything about ECL. Then you meet the master, you meet your mentor, and you say, wow, some of the tips that I got from this book was just phenomenal. And so, Hugo, what do you think? You got anything to add about this?
Yeah, I think, Bob, well, first of all, it's my 3rd year presenting the workshop. So for sure, my perspective is a little bit different or more narrow, but I do agree with you. One thing that is specific to this workshop, what we're presenting this year, is the contextualized content. So we have taken all the knowledge, all the tips from the expert, from the author of the book, and we have presented during or compressed it as much as we can into those 3-hour workshops. So I just want to highlight, we are picking up a open data set, the New York City tax data. And just like Bob mentioned, in hour 1, we are doing extraction, transforming that data. Hour 2, we are building a fully functional product on top of that data using Roxy, right? And then on the 3rd hour, that's where we have several tips from the author of the book. And the tips will be divided into certain topics, right, Bob? Like we start with string tips, data tips, date tips, file tips, math tips. So no matter in each area you are using ECL, for sure you might be finding something useful for your day-to-day activities. And remember, this is all knowledge coming from the trenches, like Bob used to say. And it's all knowledge that has been accumulated throughout the years from the authors. So don't miss our workshop this year, because really it's something totally new from what you have been seeing the past years.
Yeah, we enjoyed doing it very much. I know Hugo and I, was a labor of love, and we enjoyed doing it every day, and we were very excited and looking forward to the day after. And so we hope you enjoy it. We hope you enjoy the workshop. And just to put a little icing on the cake of this, we want to bring on the author of the book, who, like I said, I've known for many years. And whenever I get stuck on any kind of an ECL problem, he's the man that I look at, and great respect. He's my mentor, my manager. I'd like to bring on right now to this presentation, Richard Taylor. Come on, say hi, Richard.
Hi. How's everybody doing? Here's the book, a labor of love for years. The reason I'm writing this series of books, there will be a 3rd one, is because, you know, there's just a dearth of information about HPC systems, HPCC systems out there in the real world. And I'm hoping that by the community adopting this, that maybe some other authors will start writing about our platform the way that I've done, because I love this thing, and it's been 20 years that I've been working with it, and this is basically a brain dump of a lot of techniques and answers to questions that I've had over the years. Half of the book is an ECL cookbook, and there are more tips that I still had on my list of things that I wanted to include, but I had to end it at some point. And when they gave me a deadline for having it published by this community day, well, that's why we've got what we've got.
And Richard, a lot of the tips that you presented was actually spawned by communication from the community, from the open source community, asking you of how to do something, or this is something I'm working with and I'm stuck. And so this is years and years of your support, your great support that you've had for the community, and actually wrapping it all together and putting it into a nice comprehensive book with clear explanation. And like I said, there's even parts of the ECL language that you may not delve into a lot, like the template language. And Richard just goes into just a great comprehensive explanation of template language. So, you know, things that you use every day, but things that you might not use every once in a while, this book covers it all. And that's why, you know, we're really excited and just pleased to have had the opportunity to present this to everybody.
Oh, thanks, Bob.
Yeah, and just one comment along the lines of what Bob was just saying. If you have already went through our training materials, you are pretty familiar with ECL, you might notice that the way Richard is explaining ECL concepts on the book might give you a different perspective. I'm telling from my own experience. If you are used to study ECL from the language reference, from the training material, you might see a different perspective on the book and therefore on the workshop as well. So yeah, congratulations once again, Richard.
Yeah, I deliberately took a different approach towards presenting the ETL material that it's absolutely required, but I wanted to make sure that I didn't simply duplicate what we've already got in our great training classes already. No, it's not the same. Definitely not the same.
And just to make sure the audience didn't get that wrong, it's 20 years of experience compressed in a book. So don't miss it.
Well, thank you guys.
Yeah, well, that's it. So we're looking forward. Hopefully, all of you will be able to attend our workshop, and we're gonna love to see you there. And we'll have the chat open during the workshop, during our live rebroadcast of it, so you'll be able to post questions along the way. We'll be online. We'll be on board to help you with whatever you have. So, looking forward to it. We hope to see you, and go out there and check out the book as well if you get a chance. So, all right, thank you, Richard, and well, let's wrap this up. Let's bring back Trish and Flavio back to the meeting.
Well, wow, what a great surprise to have the author himself here with us. Thank you for sharing. And that sounds like a workshop not to miss. I'm adding it to my schedule right now. So Flavio, what do you think?
I already have the workshops on my schedule. So, and like the other sessions, those don't have a conflict. So there is no excuse to miss them, really. There is a first one with ETL in ECL. There is, of course, the rest of the content for the other 2 days. It's even better. So please don't miss them. These workshops are going to be the success, the thing that everyone will speak about throughout that week. So really not to miss. And of course, the books are great. So as I always tell Richard, this is a great job in building this compilation of 20 years of experience into just a single, into each one of these volumes. And it needs to be 3 because it needs to be a trilogy, right, Richard?
One more.
One more. Well, hey, I want my autographed copy, Richard.
Okay, we'll make sure you get one.
All right. So Flavio, just to recap, we have keynotes, we have breakouts, we have posters in the expo hall, and we have workshops. So something for everyone. And don't worry if you can't catch them all. Every bit of it will be recorded and available for playback at a time suited for you. All you need to do is register. So visit hpccsystems.com and register today. So thank you, Flavio, for co-hosting this Tech Talk with me today. And thank you to our special guests, Bob, Hugo, and Richard. On behalf of all of us, a big thank you to our audience and the HPCC Systems community. We do this for you, and we look forward to seeing you virtually the week of October 10th.